Matt Stepp with Dave Campbell's Texas Football here at Cubs Stadium in Brenham with the head coach of the 1-0 Brenham Cubs, Coach Danny Youngs, after a 34-13 win and a top 10 5A Division II showdown. Coach, congratulations on the win.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I was really happy with the way our kids played and, showed on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, week one, there's going to be sloppiness. There's going to be things you have to work on. But I think the positives from this game are, first off, I think you beat a really good football team.
Absolutely.
That's a dangerous football team over there.
Absolutely.
And I thought, just looking at it from the press box view, I thought your defensive line really controlled things. It's an athletic and dynamic playmaker at quarterback they have there. What was the game plan coming in, and how were you guys able to corral Adolph and Trayshawn Brown, two really, really dynamic runners?
Be disciplined, stay on your key reads, be in the right spots and be in the right fits. And, the couple times they got us in trouble, let our eyes wander. And he's a really good young player for a sophomore quarterback. He's going to be really, really talented. And, we've gotten to play against number 5 for 3 years now. So we knew, what he brings to the table, and you're going to have to play 4 quarters. And, we were going to have to survive in man coverage, put more people in the box. And, I thought the secondary did a really good job. We just had a couple of, fitting mistakes where we didn't fit right. And, it cost us, 2 touchdowns. But, in the end, I thought overall, I was really proud of the special teams. I thought kickoff coverage was great. I thought they did a really good job. I thought punt team did a good job. And, I thought we did a good job tackling. First game of the year, I've tackled guys that talented. Usually you have a lot of missed tackles. I thought they did a good job of tackling those guys.
You mentioned discipline and the tackling, which tackling is a kind of a discipline thing to me. Do you think that comes with, you have such a veteran defense? You have a lot of guys who played last year. That makes that learning curve, I'm assuming, a little bit accelerated. It's got to be comforting for you and your defensive staff to know that you have guys who have been through varsity football games. You played 3 rounds deep last year. It's got to be a comforting feeling.
Yeah, you have 7 underclassmen on that defense. Just had a lot of sophomores coming back, which is wild. You think you're older, which you are. You get that varsity experience, but I was counting in my head while you were answering the question. I thought, man, we still feel kind of young over there.
That's a scary proposition. You got some guys that are young, yeah.
We lost CJ to offense to play tailback, and he was going to be a starter over there as a sophomore. So I think filling his spot, his shoes were big. He's an unbelievable player. It was a really good safety, and so I was really proud of him. Like, there weren't a lot of mental mistakes. There were some, and they make you pay when you have them. And so, I thought there were some in the first game like I was going to have, but I really thought it was pretty clean.
Offensively, you mentioned CJ, his first start at running back. Yep. Hudson, his first start at the quarterback position. And again, a good defense over there that they test you a little bit. I know there's some things to work on, but how do you feel like – I felt like your guys, especially coming in, didn't make the big mistake. Your young quarterback didn't make a big mistake that cost you guys. When you did make the one mistake, your defense bailed you out there and got them stuff. So overall, I know there's some things to work on, but your early assessment of your young quarterback and some of your young guys on offense.
I like to see what you do when things go bad. And when they got up 6-0, it would have been easy to go sit on the bench and pout, and everybody started pointing fingers. This guy's fault, that guy's fault. And not one kid over there did that. They told Hudson, hey, we got your back. Get back in there, do your job, make the plays when it's your time to make plays. And the defense was like, hey, look. We know who we are, and our goal is we want to be a reason why we win. And it was great to go down there and get it tied up 6-6, and then get a defensive touchdown. I thought after that, everybody settled in and played with a lot of confidence and played really physical.
Yeah, I thought the middle 2 quarters, you get the defensive touchdown there, and then the third quarter, you guys really kind of seized control of the game. Were there any halftime adjustments that you guys made to kind of pull away, or was it just more about executing your game plan just at a little higher level in the third quarter?
I don't think it was. We talked to them about the empty sets. They got us a little confused a couple times in the empty sets, and then when they put the tight end and H in together, it kind of went against what we game planned all week. So we had to adjust on that, what we called a string 2. But once we got that down, I thought we were really in good shape. They kind of got us moving around a little bit. You get in the scrimmage, you're not going to show much.
Sure.
And we knew they were going to run the quarterback, so you had to prepare for those things. But they did a really good job of trying to move us around and get us where they wanted in the first half. And I think in the second half, we kind of simplified it a little bit. Let's just run to the football and read our keys.
Final question, obviously early in the season, conditioning is always a concern. It's been a lot hotter week 1 for sure, but it was warm. Obviously, how do you feel like you guys handled that week 1 and kind of, making sure you stayed healthy and tried to handle the conditioning? Or is that something you want to work on more forward?
We run a lot. Honestly, I think we push our kids really hard with our conditioning and what we do. There's nothing to prepare for this type of humidity. it's just no way. And when you play a physical team like that, and I think I looked at one time we had 7 possessions and they had 7 possessions in the first half. That's wild.
Yeah.
But that's high school football now, and I don't think you can do anything but play. We'll work hard. We'll keep conditioning and pushing our kids, but they got to drink water. I don't know why they don't understand. We started telling them on Thursday, drink water, and kids.
It was humid.
Kids.
It wasn't too hot, but it is very humid. So, Coach, appreciate your time. Congrats on the win. Kids look great tonight. Good luck the rest of the season. Hopefully, we'll see you down the road come playoff time.
Absolutely. Go Cubs.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, sir.